Good morning. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America. Are we live on YouTube? My name's Brian Engelman. Today is Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. And this right here, the thing that hopefully you are watching, because the thumbnail image is not the thumbnail image I'm using. That's the screensaver that my brother set up. As I was saying, my name is Brian Engelman. Today is Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. And this right here, the thing that you are hopefully watching is called the TNAM Daily Show. Let's make that large. Switch to that one. How about that? Over here on, oh, there we go. The new American media. Let's make that large. Because the old American media has failed you. TNAM, because the news always matters. Are you feeling me? You get that? Are you with me out there? And are we streaming on Rumble? I don't see today's show. Okay, now I see it. And it appears to be... There we go. Appears to be streaming. All right, good. Everybody's with me. Everything's on track. Do you guys remember that song? Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I guess I'll go eat worms. Or something like that. I said that to somebody the other day, and they're like, huh? I've never heard that. You never heard that? But somehow, before the internet, everybody knew about Marilyn Manson's missing rib. Okay. On today's program, we're going to talk about quarterback Aaron Rodgers. There we go. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Calling out Dr. Fauci. Good. Stephen A. Smith, we've played it 2 shows now. 2 shows in a row, apologizing to Kyrie Irving. Also Aaron Rodgers, also Novak Djokovic. Also that golfer who was leading, was that the Masters? U.S. Cup? Maybe it was the Masters. Let me look that one up real quick. Next story about golfer leading but kicked out. I don't recall which golfer this was. But yeah, Kyrie Irving faced tons of backlash. Stephen A. Smith apologized. That's the right move there. Aaron Rodgers was called all sorts of names. Novak Djokovic, one of the best tennis players on earth. Love the game of tennis. Fun fact, I was tennis in my captain team. Excuse me. Man, my words are all over the place. I was captain of my tennis team back in high school. Love the sport. I can't say I follow it religiously, but Novak Djokovic was pretty fantastic. And he wasn't able to come into the United States. He couldn't participate in the tennis tournaments. He's like in the best shape of anybody anywhere. And it's his career. It's his right to choose, right? This is the golfer here. 5 years ago, John Rahm, R-A-H-M, led the Memorial Golf Tournament by 6 shots after 3 rounds. After walking off the 18th green, he was told that he tested positive for COVID-19 and had to withdraw before the final round. What a weird time and moment. Kyrie, Aaron Rodgers, Novak Djokovic. So many apologies needed. Rahm, that golfer. I'm glad that we're not forgetting, because something like this could happen again, will happen again. And what we must demand as a people is a robust conversation. I want to hear your best points. I want to hear your best counterpoints. I want if there's an important issue, we should talk about it more freely. Well, but that's dangerous misinformation. Defined by who? You don't get to define truth. We get to battle the truth. Ask 10 people on the street what happens when you pass away. You might get 10 different answers. Ask 10 random people on the street. Define God. Define your version of God, your deity, your spirituality, your religion. You might get 10 different answers. If we can't agree on what happens when we pass from this experience, how are we supposed to all agree on something scientific that just happened? We're allowed to be skeptical, and we're allowed to point to the fact that the peer-reviewed studies were lacking, missing, altered, changed, misleading, intentionally misleading. We can call out all of it. I'm not going to do another dissertation. I feel like the horse hasn't been making any noise for a while, but I keep swinging. But I think you get it. And so good on Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's a good voice out there in the sports universe. Speaking of the sports universe, I want to say thank you to Sam, who ordered the 4-pack, by the way, before we get things started here. Everybody hit the thumbs up, hit the share show button. Try to share this show on X through text. Text a couple smart friends. Patriot Warrior went to regionals in tennis doubles back in high school. Yeah, that's what I played. I played first doubles. That's awesome. 2 years of first doubles. It was cool. But shout out to Sam. He got the 4-pack. He shot a Venmo. Let me put it up on the screen. But I made a discount. If you want all 4 things, shoot me a Venmo. There we go. It's at the bottom of the screen scrolling. At Brian Engelman. Make sure you spell it right. Sam had to figure out the hard way. BrianEngelman. And you'll get our $40 The New American Media mug. 2 sets. And within each set is 4 wooden, Ohio-made The Unhappy Hour Sports Show coasters for your beverage, either in circle shape or Ohio shape. They're $30 for a set of 4, includes shipping to the continental United States, or 2 for $50. And if you want a pin, they're $25. So altogether, that's $115. But he got the deal, $100. He got all 4. So $15 off. It's a great way to get some merch. Get some gifts you can give out to people. Collecting pins. I know Sam loves the pins. Everybody has a cup of tea or some coffee in the morning, right? So if anyone wants to contribute and get some merch, you just let me know. Shoot me a Venmo at Brian Engelman. You can also toss Rumble rant tips and Super Chat tips at me. Some silver coins back there on Rumble and on YouTube. And then there are 3 subscription places. Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube. I think you can do like $1,000 a month, $100 a month, $15 a month, or $5 a month. As little as $60 a year. You just sign up, and every 30 some days, it just tosses another $5 into the account. They take their 15%, whatever the math is on that, and then that gets transferred, so it helps keeps the lights on over here at the New American Media. So you can fund us directly if you like what you're seeing. You can get some merch if you would like to support us that way. I'm basically going to be your bartender today. Come on in, sit at all the seats, and we want everyone to bring a friend. We want you to bring a few friends. We want to fill this place. We want it so busy. We want it a line wrapped out the door at lunch. But we're going to talk about the stories that are on the screens behind me. Different places reporting different things. Make sure you follow the New American Media on Instagram. Our page shares all sorts of, I think they're called stories. I don't know. You got stories, you got highlights, you got posts, you got reels. I can't even keep track of what they're called. But many times you'll get a sneak preview of what we're going to discuss on the TNAM Daily Show, because we pull those stories in many cases directly off of Instagram and directly off of X. So make sure you're also following us on X. We do stream there live. We are at American_media_. And everybody, please hit the Agree to Disagree Show podcast, Spotify and Apple. So yeah, good for Aaron Rodgers doing what he did. Very, very happy that he's he's continuing the conversation that is not done. Oh, we are not satisfied. We're demanding justice for Fauci. Demanding. Maybe rightfully or wrongfully, I'd probably say a majority of America is blaming him for the pandemic, for funding it in Wuhan, the gain of function, the potentially intentional lab release, the partnership with China, banning potentially effective monoclonal antibodies, vitamin C drips, Merrick protocol, hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin. Yeah, that took lives. That a lot of people said that those things helped them a lot, and he was recommending that none of those things be allowed, and those practices were banned, and people died. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to say to me, well, that seems inconsistent, Brian, you just showed us the Unhappy Hour sports show because you're a sports guy and you love to talk sports. Oh, by the way, season, God, what are we on now? 4, maybe 3. Season 3 of Strictly Football will be coming up very soon. Football is here to stay, everybody. I'm super excited as a Cleveland Browns fan. Start off with myself and Mike Barra. It expanded to Jim Mitchell. Then it expanded to myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell, and Ezrael Robinson. Izzy has become an airman, so he will be out this season. We'll have to see how we proceed with the programming. We'll keep you posted when those new shows will be dropping. We try to keep them at a steady, consistent time and day of the week. We'll just have to check the 3 of our schedules and see what works. But yeah, tune in. But you'd say, Brian, that's inconsistent of you. You know, aren't you from the shut up and dribble crowd who's like, LeBron, why are you getting involved in social issues? And shut your mouth and just play basketball. Shouldn't you be saying the same thing about Aaron Rodgers? You know, on one level, that's a very good point. On another point, well, LeBron has done so many. I mean, from Trayvon Martin blowing that case out of proportion and misrepresenting the fact that Trayvon was grounding and pounding a person, cracking his skull into the concrete when one shot was fired in self-defense, and make it seem like the whole country is an awful racist place. That stuff's sort of unforgivable, LeBron. I know you were just like taking your guidance from Barack Hussein Obama, but that guy, talk about misleading people. That's what Obama, that was his specialty. Maybe he learned it from watching Fauci. Who knows? Or when he claimed that someone sprayed racist graffiti on his garage door, and then the police showed up, and where is it? Oh, we cleaned it. You cleaned a crime scene that you called us about. Yeah, we just didn't want it up. It was like hurtful. We don't have evidence. What do you? Fine, let me see the security camera footage. Oh, there is no security camera footage. Huh? Yeah, it wasn't working. Was LeBron the original Jussie Smollett? I mean, you could go on and on. I believe LeBron doxed that hero cop in Akron who had some fat girl running after some other girl with a knife to stab her, and he shot her to save the life of the victim. I believe he doxed that cop. Probably, potentially, or sloppily putting his life in danger for protecting a member of the community. By the way, 2 black girls. I don't remember the race of the shooter. I don't care about race. It's so stupid. I only care about actions. I just care how you act. That's it. I just care how you act. But LeBron put a lot of toxic stuff out there, and look at the batting average. Oh, by the way, big day for the Cleveland Indians yesterday. Cleveland Guardians. I hate that new name. They made several moves. An outfielder, a pitcher, I think a relief pitcher, 3 different trade deadline moves. Because we're in the wild card slot right now, but trying to win the division. We'll see how it goes the rest of the year. But Aaron Rodgers, check his batting average. It's pretty strong. The stuff he's been talking about has been pretty solid, pretty important, pretty needed, pretty necessary. We need more open conversations about all topics. We need wide-ranging, laid-back, multiple hour chit chats. That's how you hash out ideas. It's where you come up with questions. It's where you get some good jokes too. It wasn't that I had a problem with LeBron talking. It was that the stuff he was doing, it was like out of the Nike, ABC, ESPN, Disney, Barack Obama, Democrat, lying legacy media, teachers union playbook to sow the seeds of racial division, phony racial division, false racial division, misrepresented racial division. And by the way, only giving airtime and breathless outrage to certain stories if they fit an anti-white narrative, ignoring, what is it, 8-1, 15-1, 20-1, the number of non-white on-white attacks across the country. There was like that whole Kaepernick phase, and LeBron was right in the middle of it. But, you know, people like Kyrie, see, once again, Novak Djokovic, I have no idea where he's from. Serbia? Croatia. No, that doesn't feel right. I don't know where he's from. I know he's fairer skinned. Kyrie Irving has been on his spiritual journey. He's black. LeBron is black. Aaron Rodgers is white. I don't care what people look like. Where is Novak Djokovic from? I feel like somebody dropped the board of Scrabble letters to come up with Djokovic. No idea. But those three, Kyrie Irving, Aaron Rodgers, and Novak Djokovic, a scattershot of Yugoslavia. He was born in Belgrade. What did I say? Bosnia, Chechnya, Herzegovina. Anyway, Yugoslavian. They were out there fighting the medical industrial complex at a time where the pressure could not have been higher to just take the jab, do the thing. Everybody's doing it. We're demanding this of you. And they said, excuse me. I don't know where you get off thinking you command my body. Oh, yeah, easy for you to say, Mr. Pro-Life. You have autonomy of your life to have sex or not have sex. You have autonomy of your body. A baby is a new body. It's a new human that you are incubating. It's a sacred opportunity. And yeah, in a country this size, maybe safe, effective, and rare is the policy that just covers the swath of humanity. And then more education about responsibility for choices and ramifications, and try to prevent them in the first place if they're not wanted. Try to speed up and reduce the cost for adoptions. I mean, there's a million things I would do in that industry if I could, but you know, what do you say when the leagues are telling you can't play unless you take this thing? You can't work unless you take this thing. That's the pressure campaign we were under. And thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for bringing that up. So we will cover that on the show today. Also, Michigan Madness. You got that dude up there, another Democrat socialist, because the Democrat Party is gone. They are a Marxist radical party. Perhaps domestic terrorist organization that needs to be stripped and reclassified based on what they did in the Summer of Love in 2020 and subsequently at random points across the nation. Basically, they get flash mobs together and they cause mayhem and they take lives and they destroy property and they steal. Not all of them. I'm sure there's lots of, and also there are probably some fine people in there, a little misguided. You know, and that's where it hurts knowing that Charlie Kirk's not out there talking to campuses. He was a perhaps the best communicator that the right had to go get that youth vote and get him thinking about the issues in a way that's pretty logical. You could agree with him or disagree with him, but he was logical. He was educated. Can't really call him a liar. You can just say you didn't like his version of truth. And so the youth movement coming up, they really don't want anything to do with Democrats. And sort of the youth movement coming up kind of doesn't want to have anything to do with Republicans. Some don't want to have to do anything with MAGA. They call MAGA MEGA. You're captured by Israel. We're out. And you got that pro-Palestine, what do you call it, Venn diagram overlay. And we're kind of wrapped up in Iran here, and we're kind of still trying to negotiate, and we're threatening, and we're blustering, and we're attacking, but we're not. And oil's kind of just sort of stable at 79, 80 bucks a barrel. Trump's calling for the prices of things to come down. Like they've cooked extra pricing in, but like things are actually stable. You don't need to keep the punishment on the people. We'll see where that goes. But all eyes on Michigan. El Said is running against, I think, the Chris Farley lady. We played her inspired performance a couple days ago, and she's not much opposition. But what do you think? That's a question of the day. Type it in the comments, QOTD. Would you prefer more socialists or less socialists in the Democrat primaries? Because the prevailing thought might be, well, it's one of two things. It's super dangerous. Think of the squad and then start multiplying it out. Instead of 5 or 10 idiots, now you got 15 or 20 or 25 or 30, 35 or 40. That creep happens real fast, and it's not good for anyone. Do you want fewer Democrat socialists winning their primaries because they're so dangerous? Or do you want more of them because they're easier to beat in the primaries, so the Republicans will have an easier time knocking them out? Tell me in the comments, QOTD. Do you want less because they're dangerous? They're so dangerous, or more because they're easier to beat? Tell me in chat. Yeah, Dina saying Abdul Sayed in Michigan running for the Senate. Ugh. I guess, yeah, you get to vote today, right? Everybody call your friends. Yeah, who's talking for Charlie Kirk now? Who's filled the void? That was a big loss. That was a tough one. Ortho prefers none, no socialists winning. So at least if somebody wins, they're not a nut job. Well, that's the question Michigan's trying to figure out right now. And also Todd Blanche, in it, Attorney General. Yeah, the Republicans are sort of acquiescing on things, but I don't really follow what they're acquiescing on. I'll get to that in the news. So anyway, we're going to cover these stories. If there's anything else you want us to cover, share it and then quote tweet it on X and put @American_media_. What do you think of this? And some of those we'll grab them and share them and try to put them on the show. Speaking of show, it's time for y'all to buckle up buttercups because the TNAM Daily Show starts now.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Yeah. That's a huge story I should probably put at the top of the list. The water system attacks. I mean, Iranian hackers, that's sort of been a calling card for a long time, hasn't it? Maybe their weapon systems aren't the best, but maybe they can hack into our systems and mess stuff up. Hello, Dina. Hello, Arnold. Hello, Ortho. Joker Poker, he's with Ortho, prefers none. I'd rather have none of those dirty commies, none of those democratic socialists. Just keep them all out of the way. Dina, 9 Michigan water system attacks over the weekends reported by Iranian hackers. Or the Jews did it, and they're framing Iran. I have several buddies like that, regardless of what it is. I open a pack of cards. Oh, you didn't get one of the inserts. I bet you the Jews took it. Huh? I get your general complaint about some geopolitical alliances and strategies and policies, but bro, does it have to get into everything? Does it have to get into everything? Anyway, it's I don't know. It's either the biggest problem in the world, so everything should be fixated upon it, or, you know, it can be part of the picture, but it doesn't need to be the main string at the end of the puppet. Mark answered, well, do you want more socialists or do you want depends on my ammo supply. Yes, is everybody training this week? That is my call. Can anybody commit to going to the range this week? Will anybody commit with me? Go to the range. Level up a little bit. Practice. And start carrying. But yeah, I have buddies that, okay, yeah, all right. So Michigan is now having attacks on their water system, all right. And let me guess, they're blaming Iran? Right, that's Netanyahu doing that. You know that's not real. You know that picture of Tyler Robinson isn't real. You know that license plate on that car isn't real. You know that the weapon used wasn't real. You know nothing was real because of Israel. It's not real. Nothing's real because of Israel, is what some of my acquaintances and colleagues will say. And there's really no debating that. You just go, yep. Didn't land on the moon because of Israel. Dinosaurs didn't exist because of Israel. It's the Zionists, is it? Okay. There were giants in Mesoamerica because of Israel. You go, all right, stop. I got it. You blame everything. I got it. It's the Jenna Marbles. Thanks, Obama. Ah, my dog crapped on the rug again. Thanks, Obama. But yeah, stay tuned with picking winners on the YouTube channel, especially on Whatnot. We're going to be going live with the Build Your Own Bug Out bags. Trying to make a nice, affordable kit where do you want a water purification device, a portable water purification device? Do you want potassium iodide tablets to pop in and protect your thyroid in case there's some sort of dirty bomb attack? Do you want some sort of solar powered or a crank radio or a flashlight? Or do you want some survival books? You know, no matter how good we are, we can always use a few reminders of how to tie those Boy Scout knots. And if we have a tarp, how do we make a little shelter? And if we got a bug out, what do we do in communications? Stay tuned, please. It is the business that I have sitting here ready to go. Today could be the day that we launch it. We've had like a soft launch and still just trying to figure out the shipping. dealing with whatnot, because I guess they're going to get rid of their flat rate shipping box, which sucks because that answered so many questions. I could put, you could either get a duffel bag or a backpack or some sort of over the shoulder, and that's where you put your emergency your emergency stuff, your dog medicine, your medicine, an extra battery bank, phone charger, a solar phone charger, whatever items you think would be helpful. If you could only grab one bag and go, what do you put in there? So hearing that the water systems are being attacked, you just wonder if they're testing vulnerabilities and something like that could be coming nationwide. You know what I mean? Dina, how you feeling, lucky punk? Well, are you? Yeah, Ortho and his club. I won't be selling clubs. Although I found a great product. One's like a nightstick. You keep it charged up and it'll illuminate like a flashlight, and you can hold it it's like a billy club in the handle. And it's like a cattle prod. And then there's also a tiny version you slip over a finger, and all you have to do is just squeeze it. It's already there. You just tighten onto the palm and zzzt. I mean, it's like an electric rattlesnake. Crack, 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 crack. I mean, it splits the air. You can smell the ozone. Maybe not, but I like to say that. Yeah, the time to think about how to protect ourselves is before we need to. I mean, if you're on a subway and you could just put one of those rings on. I mean, if someone gets close enough to you to become a threat, you just activate it and lunge in the places where you're allowed to defend yourself. We are so cattled right now. Where are the rugged individualists? Where are the people like that in and out shooting? It was a guy that had some training that stepped up. Crack, 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 crack. Had a silencer on. And yeah, people said, yeah, that's the type of guy you would laugh at the range. Or, oh, he's training with that weapon. I prefer this weapon. Everybody prefers whatever they have. It's a matter of, are you proficient with what you have? Give almost any guitar to some of the legends. They're going to make it sing. Don't blame the tool. Blame the painter. Blame the guitar player. Blame the marksman. But at a second's notice, we need to be careful. So, yeah, I encourage everybody to get out there. And I've done entire show. Maybe I'll do. You know what I might do? I think I'm going to. I think it's time for a new bug out bag video. Take everything out and then reassess. What gear do we have? What's the best, smallest, lightest weight gear that accomplishes the task? We're under 100 days, about 90 days now to the election. Be prepared for the power to snap off for a while. Do you have a battery bank, a backup, a solar charger, a generator, a marine battery backup for your sump pump so your basement doesn't flood during a storm? Something you can keep the refrigerator plugged in so all of your meat doesn't spoil? You know, just the basic questions. If shit goes sideways, what if the internet doesn't come on tomorrow? What are we doing? How do we do? Very important questions. Yes, Trash Panda. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, everybody follow us on Kick and Twitch. Raise your hand if you're sure. God, I love those old school jingles. Raise your hand if you're sure. Might have missed my calling on those. Raise your hand if you have Twitch or Kick. Find the New American Media over there and subscribe to the channel, please. Oh, I just got tagged on X. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 3 stories about the cyber attacks. We're going to get to them in a second. The very first comment is Will Ferrell and Anchorman going, I don't believe you, about blaming Iran. It's just another false flag like the USS Liberty, you idiot. I know it's the Zionists doing it. They're just trying to extend the war. That is your answer to everything. Okay. It was the very first thing that I saw. I don't believe you. It's a false flag. He attacked his own people. How could anyone allow themselves to be attacked? I'm like, I get that argument. What do they say? A woodpecker couldn't land on a branch 2 miles away from the Israeli border without them having 6 people on it immediately. They let it happen. They told them to massacre their own people or something, or to let it happen and stand by and watch their countrymen get butchered, or they weren't told, they were misled, and the troops were withheld, and they shut their own systems down. They punched themselves in the face. Okay, show me your stack of evidence proving these theories. Let's see it. But yeah, thanks, Obama. But raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand if you have Twitch and Kick, and please follow the New American Media on Twitch and Kick. Yeah, the Life Straw. What's the number 10 regular can? Coffee can for a stove. I got to look that one up. I don't know which one that is, but sounds good. Ortho reminds us, in your own personal bug out bag, never leave your cave without your club. Dina, Michigan water systems are not connected to the internet. Oh. They're not connected to the internet. Well, they probably shouldn't be. Oh, I did see some of this. I wonder if I'm allowed to even play this. A story that just came in. Little odds and ends kind of thing. Oh, boy, that's best national anthem of all time.
Oh, say, can you see?
Major League Baseball's very pushy about what they will and will not allow. Air. Well, I got to be kind of cognizant of that.
So proudly
And that is
at the twilight's
in-
last gleaming,
and-
whose broad stripe
Whose fault is it for making this happen? Well, this isn't baseball. What is this? Is this soccer? I don't know what this is from.
and bright stars.
This is karaoke at a wedding, toward the end of a wedding.
Through the perilous fight. Oh,
This girl's going, what? This kid's laughing. Where are they at?
the rampart
She's laughing.
we watched were so gallantly streaming.
It sort of reminds me of when, like a kid's trying, and just learns a new thing to do with their voice, and they'll do it way too much, and they're like, all right, I'm done with that. This is wild. Yeah, this is like karaoke at the sorority at the end of the night.
And the rockets
The girls just stop and point at her. I wonder if this was intentional, or if they threw her under the bus.
red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Oh, she got a solo. Oh my goodness. They gave her a solo. Oh.
Gave proof through the night.
Then they came back in like, are you gonna stay with us? Because you're kind of all over the place on this one.
That our flag was still there.
Then she stopped. Oh, girls. Yeah, she stops now.
Flag was still there. Still there.
Oh, this is bad. Who approved this? Who approved this? Who approved this?
A night that our flag was still there. Still there. Oh, say does that.
Okay. If I were running the TNAM Daily Show, like Saturday Night Live or Bill Maher or Kimmel or Fallon or Colbert or something, this week's episode, we would have a skit about this. We would have 3 singers up there. Somebody's freestyling stuff we've never heard. I guarantee you we would have that skit. I would love to do a show like that. I think that would be the best. I like how Louder with Crowder has Josh Firestein. I think he's a ongoing regular now. He does music parodies and helps. And Steven, like, they do good skits and stuff. I like their skits. The concept of Saturday Night Live and the concept of late night television, late night comedy show, news show, talk show, rather. Sort of like if you mix in Living Color with SNL, with The Tonight Show. I don't know. That'd be so fun. No, this is wild. I haven't listened to this whole thing. This was even worse than I expected.
Star-Spangled Banner yet wave.
This is so bad. It's a baseball. No, I'm sorry. It's a softball something or other somewhere.
Or the land of the free and the home.
This was intentional. She's stopping and starting, changing the tempo mid-song. Oh no! Oh, I would parody this instantly.
Or the land of the free.
She held on to it. Pause. Delayed entry. Go.
And the home of the brave.
That was brave. Look at him with the stank face. What does it say? Boston? What is this? Kendall Baker. Absolutely nothing could have prepared me for the national anthem at the first women's pro baseball league. Women's pro baseball? This is Woman Pro Baseball League. I've never heard of such a thing. I'm not against it. I don't care. I mean, that's kind of the point, though. I don't care, and it's fine that I don't care. WNBA style. Oh, WNBA got a new team. The Cleveland franchise was named today. What do you think of can anybody tell me the name of the Cleveland WNBA team? I would play this commercial, except it'll probably flag me for copyright because social media is really stupid about stuff like this.
There is a story carried across these waters.
Ennis Braxton, former
A sound.
Cleveland rocker. Yeah, here's something you probably aren't aware of. Cleveland is a border town. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. It's a border town. Cross that river from Canada, you are in. I'm sorry, river, Lake Erie. Cross that lake from Canada and you're in. So they used to be called the Cleveland Rockers. But now it's the Siren Song. The Cleveland Sirens. Yeah? What do we think about that? Mark says about the lady singing, I feel bad for her. She has no friends. Yeah, people should have said, please don't do this. Please. This is not, please. Note to self, don't snort Geritol. Guys, I totally got this. I'm going to do a solo. Give me a solo in this too. The Cleveland Pot Shots. Now, wait a minute. Why are we the Pot Shots? Can men play in the new ladies league? Well, do you mean birthing people? We're going to have to get to the bottom of that one. I mean, we used to have or do we still? The Lake Erie Monsters was the minor league. Geez, what was that? The hockey team? Leaning into the Loch Ness Monster, Lake Erie Monster, the sirens on the... Not really a fan of the logo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's done. If that's the team name and that's what you've decided, let's try a few more. That one, I don't think that's it. But anyway, if we're talking about sports and lady sports, that reminded me. Who's the person on the logo? Siren McLury, the founder of Cleveland, married to Moses Cleveland back in 1442. I don't know. If it has to be explained, it's not a good idea. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Detroit Pistons, yeah, because they make cars. All right. Folks, let's see what's in the news, shall we? Once again, reminder, follow us. We need 32 followers on Instagram so that we can stream live. We want to make that happen. Okay, let's go to the stories. Perfect. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend, would you? James O'Keefe uncovering how our tax dollars are being stolen. While you're out there saying you shouldn't be getting high fructose corn syrup garbage for free. If you're poor, hey, get some rice, get some chicken, or maybe there should be meals you can pick up at your local grocery store. Maybe keep cold salads with chicken or beef on it, fish or something. You can pick up tuna salad, like cold salads or wraps, or, you know, maybe chickens or something, just something for low cost protein. Like ready to make, like pre-made meals, something like that. But you definitely shouldn't be getting Doritos and Ho-Hos and donuts and cases of completely useless calorically, nutritionally, heavy on the calories, low on the nutrition, sugary soft drinks. Meanwhile, you're selling vices and drugs over here. This kratom. Has anyone ever tried that? Don't admit that, but tell me if you know people that did. But they're taking the EBT cash card and giving away all sorts of things that you should not be paying for. You know, and that's the other thing about abortion. It's like, well, you know, if there's supposed to be some sort of compromise here where you're saying it needs to be allowable, it needs to be safe, rare, and effective. Well, that's really changed from we should celebrate our abortions and we should scream them from the rooftops and have as many as possible, and someone else should always pay for it. There are people that morally object to the killing of a human life that's separate from you and your life. They should not be forced to pay for that. And maybe you shouldn't be forced to be deprived of that opportunity to perform an abortion if you deem it so important to you in your life. But they shouldn't be paying for it. That should be the minimum trade in that scenario. So what happens if all that public funding dries up? Look at U.S. aid. That was a big loss for the Democrats because they've been getting a lot of money for a long time, and they were rerouting it to all their favorite organizations. Really just a separate, powerful funding wing of the Democrat deep state party. So here's James O'Keefe with another expose. Let's take a watch here. Where is this at? I think it's New York. Let's see if he says it on there. I forget what city.
Actually sold us the Creighton, swiping the card, treating this as food.
Oh, got it. Look at you.
Okay, did you want it like grocery?
Yeah, I got it in seafood. Okay. Even though you know it's fake, put it in the machine, nigga.
My girl got a minimum. Keep stuck right there till the number comes. Leave it smooth operator looking like a bum.
We swiped the EBT card and treated it as groceries.
You got proof that I did that?
Yeah, we do. We have a receipt.
You have that, Creighton? All right, let me get a photo of that EBT card, right?
You're gonna be chilling with the aliens.
Nice.
You feel good about yourself?
Do I feel good about myself?
Is this what you do on a fucking Monday night?
I'm an investigative reporter.
Bullshit.
But it's illegal to sell drugs for the card. We have it on video.
I'm not doing anything.
She sold it to her too. They closed the door on us.
Don't touch my
No, I'm not touching that.
All right, don't touch my...
This man actually threatened to shoot us.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. Go.
Let's get out of here.
My girl's got a city to run. Got the key to the king where the money's from. Never seen the color,
Stop the
never seen
music.
the sun.
The federal government is giving me...
Stop the music. Man, it's the doggone music in these videos. I just want to watch the content and I want to share it with you. Music copyright claims are the worst. I cleared one and got the video restored, and then the other, I'm 12 days out. It's so stupid, these copyright claims. It's so stupid. We have fair use authorization. It's fair use. Little clips here and there.
I can take out using my card, and then I can buy drugs with it, correct?
Whatever you want, sir.
Great, so that's amazing. I'm going to buy so much Kratom, I'm going to get so high. So I bought...
Your choice, sir.
My choices, the generous taxpayers in the United States give me all this money to buy all these drugs. So I'm really grateful for their pocketbook paying for my drugs.
My girl's got a
Transactions. All right. Yeah, this has been happening for decades. Cigarettes and alcohol. I wonder how many of them are foreigners. I'm reading the comments here. The only way these people can get arrested is if the feds move in. Turn off all plans and start over. Yeah. This is how hair and nail shops charge services to EBT. Oh my God, is that happening? Yeah, turn off all services and start over. A crime as old as time. My gosh, it's been going on for decades. And as many scams as possible. Our tax dollars at work. What's this one? White dude just never mind his business, blew the method up. Huh? Yeah, because we paying for it. Anyway, thanks, James O'Keefe. Yeah, bring back government cheese, beans, and rice. Yeah, you want some stuff, and I don't think it should be slop. Like, if people need help, there should be services, and I think we should all volunteer with the services, and I think we should work in our communities, and we should try to get people into better positions so they don't end up in spots like that, which means you can't let junkies just sit out being sloppy, filthy junkies all day long. They need to be arrested for vagrancy. They need to be put into a halfway house clinic so they can get some assistance, mental health. Some people need to be committed. You're damn right some people do. And there should be a way for people to get out of that if they can prove that they can handle their lives again. As long as they're nonviolent. But you got to help people. And, that's why it should be charity, because you keep a closer eye on your money, because it's actually your money. Yeah, it is infuriating, huh? Joker Poker, the whole world is so corrupt. In Trending South, misery loves company, corruption loves company. Yeah, but maybe it's always been this corrupt. I mean, why was Jesus flipping over the tables over there in the temple? You serpents. Like the gambling junkies and bookies of today. Get you hooked on it and get a taste, and before you know it, you're mortgaging your car, your future, your home, your savings. You've ruined your life. What do you think the lenders are there for? Oh, we get more slaves today. How do we find some slaves? I want people working for me forever. I'll charge you interest and I'll just kick back and have a cigar. You all work. You just pay me a ton of money of interest. It's scams. It's slavery. Everything's a scam. That's why, like, the basics is so important. Yeah, beans. What'd you say? Beans, rice, and government cheese. Trash Panda says the feds need to do something. Thune needs to pass the Save America Act so Trump can get his 190 plus appointments. Yeah. And the corruption is malignant. It is if you let him get away with it, and we just haven't seen enough. Let's see if Todd Blanche is going to be the right person for the job. We need arrests. A lot of them. What is this from Ben Shapiro?
Stephen Yaxley Lennon, known to his hooligans as Tommy Robinson. Stephen, there is a crowd outside rioting against you tonight.
This is like, I forget what this is called. Is this London? It's over in Europe somewhere. Oxford. They have these debates, these robust debates, and Charlie took part in them. And this is either the exact same place or something similar. But this lady says that there are people who are protesting this right now. And by the way,
and without the protection and generosity of a Muslim Palestinian president.
The Muslim Palestinian president.
And a mostly South Asian executive committee, you would be quite literally cooked.
You would be quite literally cooked. Is that that's a threat of loss of human life? Ben Shapiro defines it. You're lucky we Muslims in here are nice, because if we weren't, our co-religionists outside would burn you to death. Isn't it an amazing argument? Huh. Admitting her side is violent. Choose wisely, Democrats. Be very careful who is taking over your party. Mortgage rates went up? What? Yeah, for the love of God. Did they? This is so stupid. 6.66%. Yeah, that's demonic. Highest level in more than 12 months. Gross. American home buyer can't catch a break. 30-year mortgage hits a 12-month high. Oh, this is not helpful. Okay. Thanks for the breaking news.
Stephen Yaxley.
What is this? NASA shares some highlights since Jared Isaacman's major achievements. Highlighting Jared Isaacman's major achievements since becoming NASA administrator.
NASA is running the same playbook that achieved what many thought was impossible on July 20th, 1969. And
tell us in chat, QOTD. We walked on the moon. We did not walk on the moon. Tell me in chat. QOTD. Yes or no, we walked on the moon.
We are going back. And this time, we are never giving up the moon again.
Never giving up the moon again. Why did we give up the moon in the first place?
Under President Trump's leadership, we are not measuring success on how fast we spend taxpayer money, but in the world-changing outcomes we deliver for the American people. No longer will we tolerate programs attempting to make everyone happy, programs that are too big to fail but too costly to truly succeed. President Trump has outlined the priorities in the national space policy. Return to the moon, build the base, usher in new science and discovery, get underway on nuclear power in space, and prepare for where we go next. NASA will never be just a procurement organization, but the talent that represents the best of America, working to deliver the headlines only NASA is capable of achieving. Over time, more than 75% of NASA's workforce became outsourced. Skills atrophied, capabilities lost, leading to delays, cost overruns, and in many cases, billions lost in program cancellations. Well, that ends. Apollo showed the model for success, and we are rebuilding core competencies. We're working alongside OPM, NASA Force, and converting thousands of roles across multiple centers in engineering, operations, and other critical fields. We're bringing expertise back where it belongs, at the greatest space agency the world has ever known. The results are already clear in this golden age of science and discovery. Your new NASA is working faster, harder, safer, with clear momentum towards launching Artemis 3 in 2027 and Artemis 4 in 2028, when NASA astronauts will once again walk on the moon. And through these workforce efforts to rebuild core competencies and programmatic changes to return NASA's focus to national space policy objectives, we have already identified over $3 billion in taxpayer savings that can be used to fund new world-changing missions. NASA was never meant to be a caretaker of history, but to make history, and we are just getting started.
You know, I do like, regardless of if you like the president's administration or not, they do put out good messaging. They put out good videos, and I don't see them anywhere. I don't, where am I going to see this? They don't play it on the news. And yeah, some of it's self-congratulatory and some of it's, you know, self-serving, or it's a public relations campaign to make them look good. But if they're doing neat, good things, shouldn't we be talking about it? I think we should. I absolutely think we should. Mark says his comment didn't post. Post it on Rumble or post it on X. Speaking of, I'm glancing across my multiple screens here. Grand Kufa. Oh, what is this? Fauci was awarded $1 million Israeli prize for speaking truth to power amid the pandemic. What is that? Speaking truth to power? Let me check that. Out of curiosity. Speaking truth to power, 1 million prize, Fauci. With Tel Aviv University. Wow. Wow. Courageously defending science in the face of uninformed opposition during the challenging COVID crisis. I think Israel was a country that mandated their people take the thing, though, right? Dina, what a load of PR. It is. I like having. I like highlighting achievements, plans, accomplishments, and open communication. Everything's just been so secretive with Biden, with Obama. Just it was fraudulent. You know, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your plan, you can keep your plan. You know, and the monthly amount for Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. I keep catching myself, Michelle. Keep catching myself, you know, saying what the kids say. They say Obamacare instead of the Affordable Care Act. But you're right. It's called the Affordable Care Act, and it will be about as cheap as, you know, like the monthly cable bill or the monthly cell phone bill or something. It's going to be super cheap. Keep your doctor, keep your plan. Can't wait to sign it so we can find out what's in it. All right, Joker Poker says, nobody's ever touched the moon. It's preposterous to believe it happened. It takes days to develop film. So how are the pictures in the newspaper the next day? And how did the film survive the radiation belt? And how did we call the president from the moon? On a landline telephone? And how did he get the dune buggy up there? Tell me about the rabbits. I don't know. I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you. All right, let's check in on the Middle East. What is Trey Yingst saying about that here? Bridget Gabriel shared this from Fox.
Trump calling off planned strikes against Iran.
So the planned strikes, Trump was pissed. He's going to bomb the S out of them, beat the effing S out of them. You know what? I think excuse me. They said they're gonna talk. I gotta tell you, a lot of bluster from, Muhammad. I can assume some of their names are, but we're gonna look at it. We have a framework of an agreement, no nukes, and we'll see. Still mired in the Iran thing. I was hopeful when it started. I was really hopeful. I was like, oh, is this going to be super fast like Maduro? But they're not fully removing that Islamic supremacist regime, and they're not getting negotiating in good faith out of that regime. And I don't understand the plan. I don't understand what the goal is. I don't understand I don't get it. I want it over. I don't have patience for this. It's not helpful. I believe it's a total domination as well. There have been casualties. American blood has been spilled over this. Was it worth it? Is any conflict ever worth anything? That's ultimately the job of the commander-in-chief. George Washington had to make that decision thousands of times. They're not good decisions. And good luck if you ever had to sit in that position and make them. I had to get some warm coffee. That's good coffee. By the way, if anyone wants a mug, shoot me a Venmo. If anyone wants some merch, we're doing a special 4 for $100. Let me know. Shoot it over on Venmo along with your address. Consider signing up on Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube as a monthly subscriber, as little as $5 a month, to directly help fund our efforts. We had a very good month of July. We need to replicate that and try to take steps. Please invite more people to the bar. We have inventory, we have payroll, we got expenses, we got utilities, we got the overhead, we got the mortgage, we got the rent, facility, whatever. So please consider, instead of me taking this moment now to sell you coffee or pillows or survival seeds or a battery bank for your phone or solar panels or water filtration device or whatever people like to sell you, I just like to remind you that I'm out here working. This is my job, playing guitar on the street corner. And if you don't throw something in the open guitar case, I got bills to pay each 30 days. And so thank you to everyone who gave us some support. We did a new method of transfer yesterday. Western Union. Thank you, Arn. Appreciate you, good sir. So now we can go through Western Union. We can go through PayPal. That's fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com, the email address at the bottom of the screen. Venmo or Cash App is Brian Engelman at BrianEngelman. And you can drop Rumble rant tips or Super Chat tips. Throw some silver coins into the tip bucket back here. Hook your bartender up. If you like your bartender, you tip your bartender. I've been a bartender at a lot of gin joints in a lot of places in the world, I'll tell you what. But yeah. Consider becoming a monthly subscriber, Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube by searching The New American Media on those sites. Patreon is a great one. It's a great way because I think they take the smallest amount of fees. I think they take the smallest amount of fees, and it all adds up. A little here, a little there, a little there, and thank you to all of you. And if you haven't considered tossing something in the tip jar, maybe today's that day. All right. But thanks to every one of you who watch. So please at least share this show with a friend. Click the share button. You'll grab the link, text it to a couple smart people and go, hey, jump in, chat with me. We're hanging out and going through the news. Join us. All right, back to Trey Yingst.
As he says, a deal is close. According to the president, talks will resume today aimed at finalizing an agreement.
The talks will resume. The beatings will continue until morale improves.
On the Strait of Hormuz. Trump says he was asked by Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia to hold off as diplomatic efforts play out.
So would you listen to that?
We are attacked. That would be the biggest attack since World War II. And it would have been disasters, and they didn't want us to do it. And frankly, Saudi Arabia didn't want it either. They thought.
And a lot of warfare in this modern age, and definitely with this president, it is the art of the deal. Things are being negotiated publicly. Spin. Trust me, that's been a part of warfare forever. If the colonists weren't able to take the Crispus Attucks shooting by those dirty lobster coat sons of bitches, I believe was the phrase that the colonists called the redcoats, the British police, or whatever you want to call them, as they were throwing ice balls and rocks and trying to provoke a violent response like the modern day Antifa. It was coining that term, the Boston Massacre, and spreading that to the 13 colonies and having that cartoon that there's 13 segments of a snake all chopped up, but if you put it together, it's a full snake. And don't tread on me. They're treading on us. They're massacring us. Join us. Everything is propaganda. So it's just interesting to listen to the art of the deal play out. I mean, are all these other Arab countries begging him, asking him not to do this, and he's listening to them and trying to show public diplomacy? What are they really saying behind the scenes? Is there a plan for the regime to step down? Million questions. What does victory look like? Who's going to... A million questions. But it's very interesting watching it play out.
The deal is imminent.
Overnight, Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, posted to X about the memorandum of understanding
Masoud Pezeshkian
that was reached earlier this year, saying in part, I believe this memorandum will be the center of gravity for our foreign relations in the future.
Masoud Pezeshkian. Okay.
We must strive to compel the enemy to remain committed to what it has signed. The security of the country, the region, and our allies will be enhanced by this memorandum. Now, international focus remains on the Strait of Hormuz, where an explosion was heard this morning by a tanker, according to maritime tracking groups. Reports indicate that a new deal could see the strait opened for 60 days without fees. With the possibility of another agreement in sight, the region remains on alert since the Iranians are denying any direct progress.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get going on a negotiation when the other side says that they're not negotiating. And maybe that's them with their public face. They're trying to stay strong. Because this is a surrender. This is a ceasefire. It's a surrender. They're not winning this. Trying to save face. It's complicated. And if you believe Trump, that the other Arab states around, they're sick of Iran's crap. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to see it get too bad, but they can only help so much. We'll see.
We currently do not have negotiations with America. The negotiations are with Oman and are focused on reaching an understanding over a path to ensure the security of shipping passage through the Strait of Hormuz.
Here in Israel, the military...
So they're saying Oman is leading these meetings. Maybe the United States is telling Oman what they're saying, and they're running the meetings, but they're trying to make it seem like they're not getting bullied by Trump.
Remains on high alert. Officials believe the situation could change any day. President Trump.
All right. So that's the update in the middle.
President Trump.
It matters.
Joker Poker, good comment. I love hanging out here at TNAM. Everyone here is smart. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough finding, sharp, motivated people. People that get it. That's what we're trying to build. We're trying to build a community. That's why we want you all to invite your friends. Fill up every bar seat. We want this to be the busiest night in bar history. Every day we want a line wrapped around the club. Yeah, it is a good comment. August 12, late night, hundreds of meteors showering. Okay. Matt Walsh here says this is a penalty reserved for white parents specifically. No inner city black mom or deadbeat black father will ever be arrested, much less sentenced to 15 years in prison for the savage crimes committed every single day by their kids. So that's Matt Walsh's response to this Breaking 911 It's the father of the Apache high school shooter sentenced to 15 years in prison. They sentenced the father, but I think the father was more involved. Let me let's listen to the judge here, and then let me get some background on this.
It matters that you didn't seek to harm anyone. It matters that you didn't pull a trigger. As I indicated, all of your crimes are a form of criminal negligence. None of them require mandatory prison. I don't have a concern that you're going to commit future crimes. You're 55 years old and you have no criminal history. You didn't intend to commit these crimes that you've been convicted of. But the loss here is profound. But I still have to distinguish your acts from the malignant heart and the acts that Colt Gray committed upon the Appalachian School. For each of the murders in the second degree, I'm sentencing you to 15 years in confinement concurrent with one another. For each of the involuntary manslaughters, I'm sentencing you to 10 years confinement concurrent. For each non-merging cruelty to children, I'm sentencing you to 10 years in confinement concurrent. For each non-merging reckless conduct charge, I'm sentencing you to 12 months confinement concurrent. This is an aggregate sentence of 15 years in prison. I'm going to have the sentence filed presently. I want to advise you, I'm required to advise you that you have certain post-conviction appellate rights. You have the right to a court-appointed attorney if you need one, to file a direct appeal or a motion for new trial. Those have to be filed within 30 days of today's date. You have a right.
Okay, it's going through the details of that. Grok says, the judge said it was clear you failed as a parent. The warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter. This was for the Barrow County judge. September 4, 2024, a 14-year-old Colt Gray opened fire at Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia, killing 2 students and 2 teachers, injuring others. The dad gave his son the AR and ammo and accessories as a Christmas gift. They convicted the dad of second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, child cruelty, reckless conduct. The first parent in the United States convicted of murder in connection with a child's mass school shooting. Warning lights were flashing, including a reported threat to shoot up an elementary school, obsession with other school shootings like Parkland, clear mental health issues. Dad didn't get his son counseling, failed to keep him in school, failed to provide stable household, failed to remove or secure the guns or ammo despite these red flags. Judge emphasized Collins' actions or inactions were identical, whether or not the shooting occurred. If the son had changed his mind, Collins would face no charges because the shooting happened. The same negligence led to the convictions. Because there is no intent to cause the deaths, unlike the son who was sentenced to life without parole 2 days earlier, the judge said he could not sentence with passion and had to distinguish pure negligence from malignant heart. So he gets a 15-year term, reflected by the judge's view that Collins' failures of a parent and gun owner were criminally negligent and directly enabled the tragedy, but stopped short of treating him as if he had planned or carried out the shooting himself. What do you think? How many of us watch some crappy story and go, charge the parents? Are you glad that the father in this case got 15 years? Or are you saying that's crazy? You can't blame the father for what the kid does. What is it? The sins of the father are not repeated on the son or something like that. The teen takeovers. Don't you want the parents arrested? Don't you want them charged? Yeah, I guess this guy gave him the weapon, gave him the ammo. And they're saying he should have known better. The kid was a little loopy. Was a mom in his life? Great question. Well, his mommy might be his daddy now. But Matt Walsh is saying this hasn't happened to anybody ever. Are you going to start doing this in the inner cities too? Good question. Will the mother or father be around in the inner city?
It matters that you didn't seek to harm anyone.
Scientists created the ideal dance moves to attract women. Now that I got to mix it up a little bit, right? Someone must be writing haiku about me because this part of my face is just itching. They say if you go like this and it's like you got a tickle, someone must be writing a haiku about you. I made that up, but it's a joke I use all the time. So yeah, a little levity here, and they're showing Carlton dancing. As many of you know, I was on a game show with Carlton. Catch 21 on the Game Show Network. And I won. That was fun. Yeah, we got to balance the show with a little bit of levity. So these are the ideal dance moves if you want to attract women. There you go. How do you whoop? A little hook. Yep. You got a little hip pivot. Don't know what that one is. Got to do that. You just got to kind of show that like your appendage, you have your appendages. Look, then they work. Hey, oh. Okay, I think we're going back on it now. Is this the same? Maybe I need to go to a wedding real soon, do some dancing. I mean, you're basically showing your mate like I'm not decrepit. Peacocking, maybe. It's a little bit of Carlton doing the Carlton dance. Marion says, if a parent gave a kid car keys and then mows someone over, would the parent be held liable? Great question. I think not. And I guess a mom was in the life. That was Oxford, Michigan. Oh, no. Well, that one I was showing was Georgia. I at least know that. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting. I need to get ready to do some dancing. I want to kind of learn some of these moves. They say people don't dance anymore because people record you on their cell phones and they mock you mercilessly online. So people just don't dance now. Kind of sucks. Not that I'm a dancer. I'm not a dancer. But there you are. Hey, it's the last week without football, everybody. Oh my gosh. Stay tuned for the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football. Myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell. Here on the New American Media, because the old American media has failed you. Ooh, I love football season. I love everything about football season. Football taught me so many life lessons. I had such a great opportunity with athlete outreach last year to 29 years ago where I played football as a senior. That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense. It was like 5 years ago or something. It was like a couple of years ago. It was a couple of years ago. But yeah, football. Well, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Buckeyes are always a solid competitor, a real tough team to beat in college football. The Browns have been pathetic, and hopefully we're turning things around this year. Who knows? New coach, new chance for someone to start at quarterback this year. It's the last weekend without football. Let's go. Yeah, let out your war paint. Put on your war paint. Tell me, QOTD, who's your favorite football team, college and pro? And don't tell me I don't watch football. Give me a team. Oh, by the way, who is this saying? What did I? Wasn't somebody in here that was saying hi to somebody in Rumble? Oh, Mind Shots says to Ortho. Ortho's buddy Mind Shots. Or something. We got Mind Shots, we got Ortho, we got Grant Goofa, Patriot Warrior, Look a Cook. Everybody on Rumble is having a party. Click on Rumble, follow us there. And by the way, if you grab 2 devices and let our show play, it's like an extra penny in the wishing well when the ads kick in. So many ways you can help the program. But it's the last week without football. I'm excited. Tell me your favorite football teams, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. I know, Trash Panda. I don't watch football. I just harvest honey, and I grow fantastic vegetables. You know, somebody just gave me peanuts. 2 peanut plants. Have you ever grown peanuts? Any tips for growing peanuts? I'd be curious to get your thoughts on that. Neighbor gave me 2 peanut plants, and at the bottom there were peanuts growing in the... I was like, are you serious? I've never done peanuts before. I'm thinking about like a grow bag. Legumes, beans, lentils, soybeans, and peas. All right. Peanuts love sandy soil. I gotta, yeah, shit. That's another project I gotta do. I gotta finish. I power washed the driveway and filled in the areas with sand and stuff, but some of the areas regrew their grass. So I want to fill it again, maybe roll up like tiny pieces of weed blocker, put it in there, and then caulk across the top and seal up the whole driveway. That's a bit of work. I wonder how long it would take if I think the biggest part is just getting the damn power washer out and the whole process of getting it set up. Once I blow those couple of cracks open again, I can seal them up with some sand. But yeah, I should have some extra sand is the point of that. They like sandy soil. Okay. Gorman, Texas, peanut capital of Texas. There you go. Yeah, the lady that gave them to me, like Jimmy Carter. Like she had like just 2 handfuls of peanuts. I'm like, yes. I did a report about President Carter in my high school days. Everybody got picked a president. I got the state of Minnesota. I got Jimmy Carter. Peanut farmer. If it's good enough for Carter, if Carter can do it, I can do it too. So there's that. All right, let's keep it rolling. Last week without football. Spencer Pratt shows us. Get a load of Kami Mamdani. Oh, they won't let you play it. Shocking. They're censoring Spencer Pratt. See, you should be able to click this and go to his page and let you see the rest of his videos. But you know how big blue cities say voter ID is bad for some reason? They're lying and they're cheating. That's the only reason. But they'll make up excuses that are not true. No. You should vote and never show your ID. Then how do we know only valid people are voting? We don't. But like, it's wrong to ask or to demand it. You go, you're wrong. Well, they're going to have their city-run grocery stores. Communism. Feel the collective warmth of socialism. Government food. And we're going to have discounts. It's going to be cheap. But guess what? You better show your papers and prove that you're from the city. We can't have people reselling this and making money. We got to keep track to make sure that things aren't being abused. Unlike our voting system where we don't require ID. Oh, will it let me go there now? Nope, it won't let me go to his story. That's stupid. Where'd it go?
Advantage of that, that deal basically, and is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, J-Pack, to add some additional details.
Yeah, racist Kami Mamdani is going to make you show ID in his markets. You want your government subsidized arugula? Show your papers. Ask for ID to vote? You're a bigot. Are you starting to realize the disingenuous lying buffoons and what the commies are up to? Thank you, Spencer.
Advantage of
President Trump wrote on Twitter.
The biggest propaganda campaign of our lives. This is Tyler Fisher sharing this. Oh, another one. They won't let me go to his page.
President Trump wrote on Twitter, "Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it dominate your life. don't let it dominate your life.
In terms of responding to a comment like that, it's gross.
It's okay to be afraid of COVID, and it's okay that it's dominating your life.
Everyone should be afraid of COVID. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
I can't come in, Mom. It's because of this flu thing.
We won't be free of this pandemic until we listen to the acknowledged truth. Listen to the science.
Okay, Al Gore, tell us about your hockey stick that said we would be underwater by now. Oh, doggone it.
President Trump wrote on Twitter, don't be afraid of COVID, don't let it dominate your life. Don't let it dominate your life.
In terms of responding to a comment like that, it's gross.
It's okay to be afraid of COVID, and it's okay that it's dominating your life.
Everyone should be afraid of COVID. You shall know.
Yeah, everyone should let it dominate everything about everything. Instead of having robust conversation, just let it dominate and never question anything that you're told.
The truth, and the truth shall set you free.
I can't come in, Mom. It's because of this flu thing.
We won't be free of this pandemic until we listen to the acknowledged truth. Listen to the scientists.
Science is truth. You know, science is truth.
What is the impact to public health when people are openly questioning the science?
Now is the time to do what you're told.
By not hearing the truth, by not listening to the scientists, they are prolonging how bad the economy will be.
When I see somebody out in the world who's not wearing a mask, I instantly think you are a threat, or you are selfish, or you are a COVID denier, and you definitely haven't been vaccinated.
You don't wear a mask.
What does this have? Are you vaccinated?
I am triple.
So why are you wearing the mask? Seek out the scientists and listen to their...
We don't have enough police officers.
Well, they won't let you see the whole clip because they don't like Tyler Fisher. Instagram is... I know I asked you guys to follow me there, but man, it's because I follow some good accounts and we get some good information. I'm just going to set up the damn TikTok and start streaming. I don't think I can stream there right away. I don't know how big of a following you need to get in order to make it work. But I think I'm going to try it. It's just frustrating that they don't let you see the full content. Another one from Tyler. Remember when Democrats sounded very different than today?
Officers, and marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that.
We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem.
I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. We don't need to wait for Congress in order to do something about wasteful spending.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported.
How did all of that happen? That is a totally different Democrat Party from today. You know how much different it's going to be if the socialists take over that party completely? Yeah. Need 1,000 followers to go live on TikTok in most regions. Yeah, so I need to find a way to do some shorts over there. Yeah, I'm going to do it. What's this? Joker Poker used to put peanuts in pressure cooker full of Texas Pete sauce. Called them wing nuts. We would sell 20 bags in 5 minutes. What's Texas Pete sauce? Pressure cooker. Wing nuts, 20 bags. Who'd you sell them to? This sounds good. I want some wing nuts. Yeah, my garden has been a little disappointing. I'm gonna go pre-harvest some tomatoes because when they started getting ripe, they got eaten by either a deer or a squirrel or a rabbit or a bird or a cat or a raccoon or a badger or a fox. I've seen all sorts of things over the years in the backyard. So this is the guy that saved the day at the In-N-Out. One day he's the guy people make fun of online. Gotta mute it, but he's plinking it. Next day he's a hero for helping take down the actor. Keep training. So take a shot like that, then take a shot on your back. Then pull out a handgun and do it like that. Keep training. I'm going to train this week. I simply must train this week. A couple things I want to go over. Good on this guy. Good on this guy button. Yeah, and this is why I, like I said, aside from the fact that my brother was my brother, so I cared about him obviously, but like he was trained, he did this stuff, he trained people to get NRA certifications and concealed carry permits and tactical training, and he did a lot of training. Just he was a valuable community resource, and now he's just not here because of COVID being released, either intentionally or unintentionally. Talking about the blue cities and how they like to do things. Well, there's a good way, there's a bad way. Which way is the blue city way? President Trump has thoughts.
Blue cities have something in common: crime, high crime, vicious, violent crime. But what do they have in common? They're all dirty.
They're all dirty. It's just unacceptable to me that in America we could let cities get this bad. You got junkies, you cite them for public indecency, you cite them for public intoxication, you cite them for this, you cite them for that. Like, if people are keeping to themselves and not having a problem, you can compel them without, launching into a whole sort of criminal this or that. But to just let homeless encampments pop up with the filth and the crime, filth and crime happen instantly. That's why you can't let it happen. That's why you need to have programs to take people, diversion programs. Instead of a charge, you're going to get a 30-day halfway house, sober you up, and try to get you on your feet. We got an apartment, and we got counseling, and we got a job. You can work and make some, but mentally ill need to get some assistance. And you can't just create filthy shanty towns in blue cities.
They're filthy dirty. Their streets are dirty. Their streets smell. Their storefronts are broken. Their trees are all gross. Everything.
I remember when I went to DC for January 6th. Oh, by the way, my footage from January 6th is being used in a new documentary about the Boogaloo. I'll show you on X when we bounce over to that. I do find myself glancing off to the side sometimes, thinking I see Nimbus walking in from the other room because I want to jump up and get in the middle of the show. A lot of loss, But when I went to DC, it was at the end of the 2020 Summer of Love Democrat riots. DC was disgusting. Boarded up, vandalized, graffiti. It was like you were in a war zone. It was like you were roaming the streets of a video game in like Fallout or something. Not good. Not good.
Thing about the place is dirty.
There's no reason. And by the way, you want to give some of the homeless people a job? Give them bags, give them the tools, give them the gloves, and say, let's go around and we're going to clean these areas. We're going to power wash these areas clean right into the drains. We're going to clean. We're going to paint. Give them a job to clean up the filth. These are great jobs. I can't understand when a place doesn't care enough to clean up their shit. I mean, it doesn't cost a lot to just be on top of your game. It doesn't cost a lot to just mow your grass and, clean up graffiti and clean up trash and keep the gutters clean and pick up things. It doesn't cost a lot, but it costs a lot of your soul if you're constantly around that.
The blue cities have something in common.
Yeah. Clean up America button.
The blue cities have some.
Like, how do you
I'm going to skip past this Aaron Rodgers part because I believe that I have the whole clip, or a longer clip at least, on my X account.
Petty crime is getting...
Atlanta residents are caging their AC units now from Real America's Voice.
Petty crime is getting so out of control in Atlanta.
Oh, man.
You gotta do this to protect even your freaking AC system. This is crazy.
That's awful. How do you service them? Oh, man. I mean, on the other hand, you get another barrier. Oh, that will reduce the airflow, though. There's no way it couldn't. That automatically reduces the airflow. Do blue cities attract Smurfs? And Gargamel. Trash Panda says, I miss Nimbus too. We all do. Yeah, man. Yeah. He was a big part of the show, and he would jump up, and then toward the end, I would lift him up because I didn't want him jumping because he, his body was giving out on him at 20 years old. 20 years is not that it's unheard of, but you're entering a very rare era. Joker Poker, we sold the wing nuts at a car dealership around 11 a.m. People were so disappointed when we'd sell out, but you can grow a batch of peanuts. Make some wing nuts. What's the sauce? What's the seasoning? I'm very curious. Very curious. Ortho says it's people that have never been taught to clean up after themselves. It's generally too late by the time they're adults. Why isn't that being taught in schools, Or public service? Let's go around and we're going to clean a block. We're going to go on a field trip. We're just going to clean things up because that's what you do. You look out for, maybe something blew over and it wasn't intentional, but let's pick it up as if it's intentional. Yeah, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, the trees are nasty, the parks are dirty. Thanks, Obama. Ortho suggests alligators for air conditioning protection, really. Yeah, I know, Kenneth. Rest in peace, Nimbus. I know. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're caging up their AC unit.
We've seen a dramatic increase of AC thefts over the last few months in Atlanta. And with rising replacement and repair costs, it's more important now than ever to protect your system and your property. Ornamental security.
Man, that sucks.
Welcome to Atlanta, folks. This is what you got to deal with now.
And we talked about Atlanta, that HIV's going bonkers down there, right? What is wrong with Atlanta? This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Rise in air conditioner theft and a rise in AIDS. This is not good. Who's running Georgia? Who's running Atlanta? Well, that's one of the corrupt areas that paused their votes to magically flip to Biden in 2020. Seems like the usual suspects of deep state Democrats driving that city into the ground, driving that state into the ground, maybe manufacturing and cheating in their elections, maybe. While at the same time allowing the petty criminals and the violent criminals to run roughshod over the good people of the community. It's a shame. But that's what's going on in Atlanta.
Petty crime.
Mr. President,
President Trump's perfect answer about Mamdani requiring IDs to access his government-run grocery stores.
Mr. President, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani is requiring an ID to access his government-run grocery stores. What then is your message to Democrats who do not want to pass the Save America Act and ensure, ID at the ballot box?
This was just announced. Yeah. I heard about it. Yeah. Well, I wish they'd have an ID to access the voting booth. They don't want to access the voting booth with any identification. We want voter ID and we want proof of citizenship. Well, he also had a thing where you had to have 2 different IDs to shovel snow during the winter, right? So that's a very friendly question. I like her. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Very good. All right. Good question.
Mr. President, New York City.
All right. Well, Communism on full display. Spokane, Washington, prayers up. There are 700 homes destroyed, 65,000 people forced to evacuate as massive wildfires tear through Spokane County, Washington. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to ash and the fire remains at zero containment. What? And Tap Lover says the homeless are out of control here. The fires are human caused. It pisses me off, she says. Melissa says Spokane is slated to be a smart city. I wish people would connect the dots already. Sounds like Hawaii and California. Someone must want cheap acreage. How many comments do I need to go through before the Jews did it? Let's see how many we get. Direct energy weapons, if you don't know yet. Well, those are the Jewish space lasers, Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Nice place to put a data center in a year. Ugh, that's a comment. Homes reduced to ash while trees stand tall. The leaves didn't burn on the trees or the trees? Is that strange or no? Well, the houses are dry. The trees are full of moisture. Yeah, here comes a data center. We're here and we've been evacuated. It's overwhelming and heartbreaking. I'd love if anyone feels like it could join in prayer at noon. Well, we missed that by 2 hours, but let's go for that. I didn't know. Sunburn 2-8. Is that... Okay, here, let's follow Sunburn. All right, dear Lord, Heavenly Father, be with the people of Spokane County, Washington. Send all of your angels to protect and contain whatever fire is still raging. Put it in place. Don't let this get any worse than it has to be, and please guide the people to rebuilding their lives. This is just absolutely devastating. Breaking people down to their core. It's knocking over the entire house of Legos at once. Piece by just all the pieces separated. So watch over this area, stop the bad guys, stop the fires, and help these people rebuild. Amen. All right, so Sunburn. Oh, here, I'll leave a reply. There we go. We said a 2 p.m. EST prayer for you all on today's TNAM Daily Show. So we were either early by an hour, if you meant... Oh, it's PST. So that would be... So we were an hour early.
Dude, it's all gone. Everything. Literally everything.
How does... I mean, this does seem a little...
We're on the... What are we on? We're on Old Rifle Drive? Rifle Club Road. Dude, everything.
This is his work.
This is it. This is it. This is my uncle's work van right here. This is the van that he worked in.
Dude.
Everything, dude.
Oh, I meant solely. That's his van.
Dude, it's all gone.
Like Hawaii. Like Hurricane Dave. My God. That is apocalyptic there. Almost looks like a set. It almost looks... Some of that looks like you'd expect a fire to look, but I mean, I guess it just eats everything and just leaves you the scraps completely. Shit. Still an active fire in a car. But it feels like a movie set. It doesn't even seem real. Yeah, it's like a movie set we're watching. That's what I comment. All right, TNAM preparedness. You know how I said you need to get a bug out bag ready? Yeah, too many bad guys invaded the U.S., Dina. Exactly. Why are all the trees still standing? Someone looked that one up about do trees normally stand during wildfires that take down the whole communities? Because I think there's something about it that they're the moisture content, they singe, but they don't actually burn. Burnt Ash Boulevard. Yeah. They'll rename it. Well, TNAM preparedness, I told you, you need to get a bug out bag ready, and stay tuned. I'll tell you how you can maybe get one from me, and I'll mail it to you directly. Extreme heat causes an aerosol can to explode in the car. Took out the windshield. Could have killed him or her. What is this? B1 throttle clean. Okay, it was probably a guy. Aerosol can exploded inside a car during extreme heat, blasting through the windshield. A powerful reminder to never leave pressurized cans in a hot vehicle. Can you hear this? Can you hear it now? The song? Safe light repair, safe light replace. Yeah, who leaves aerosol cans in their cars? Well, sometimes you get distracted, you're shopping, you throw something out there, you forget to grab it, and I don't know, it could happen. Those with TDS would say Trump said, "You're fired." Yes. They're hardwood trees that didn't burn. A lot in Hawaii, too.
And finally, new rule.
Bill Maher gets it. I like when Bill Maher makes sense.
And finally, new rule. Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them. And it's not hard to prove it, just by quoting the DSA and their candidates. J.D. Vance was on the show, and I told him that if the Democratic Party keeps going in the direction of the DSA, my vote was in play. And all I heard all vacation was, "Oh my God, you're a Republican now." No, that's not what I said. I said in play. And here's why. Because not a week goes by where I don't read about some newly chosen, exciting new face in the Democratic Party. And then when that face opens its mouth, the Communist Manifesto or some other crazy shit comes out. Again, let's just read the quotes. The DSA platform says you work as much as you are able and no more than needed. If that was any closer to Karl Marx's dictum, from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs, they'd be sued for plagiarism. New York Mayor.
Okay. There are a few brave souls on the left. Stephen A. Smith, Bill Maher. You need people coming out and speaking a little bit of reason, because the inmates are running the asylum of the Democrat Party into the hands of communists and socialists. This is really bad. Joseph McCarthy did not go far enough. You were taught that he was a bad guy and it was all this fake witch hunt. No. The Marxist, communist, socialist, globalist infiltration of our country has really been probably one of the biggest detriments to our success over the past 100 or so years. Bill Maher, on point.
Mayor Mondani once tweeted Karl Marx's words exactly. They're not trying to hide it. Their most popular influencer, Hassan Piker, thinks communism is so groovy. He laments the fall of the two of the most murderous regimes in history, the Soviet Union and Chairman Mao's China.
Yeah, this Hassan Piker is a lunatic.
Mondani's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property, it's over.
Yeah. The dumbest, craziest people are actually gaining power and control. It is a woke mind virus. It is a social contagion. This is a problem.
And impoverish the white middle class.
She wants to impoverish the white middle class. And that there's a sacred right of the government to seize private property. That is not a thing. I mean, at what point, if you're advocating for treason to our Constitution and Bill of Rights, couldn't you be arrested for sedition for treason?
What? That's a goal? You know you're supposed to scare people into voting for you, right? One of the new soon-to-be Democratic congresspeople, Darlisia Chevalier, supports seizing all properties from landlords and said, seize the means of production. Mendami has said the end goal is seizing the means of production. I think they want to seize the means of production.
So believe them when they tell you what they're all about. It is bad news.
Now, maybe you missed that in school or missed school altogether, but that's communism. Now the coalition within the DSA, called the Marxist Unity Group.
Oh, geez, I'm not even familiar with this. The mugs? Who are these mugs in the Marxist Unity Group?
Is in ascendance, and I must take them at their word when their words include, our commitment is to the long-term struggle for a fully liberated, classless society, in a word, communism. What do they have to do? Tweet out, elect more communists? Oh yeah, Sia Weaver did that.
Or is this just the Democrats finally taking their mask off? I really do. I mean, we played you that clip of Obama in the 2000s and 2010s. Biden basically offering Republican talking points, but that party has gone so far off the deep end, you can't even. They threw the dart and it's so far left, it missed the board entirely.
Yes. Good. I'm glad you're shocked. People got to realize this is going on. And finally, new rule.
Bill Maher getting a couple of things right. Good for him.
And finally, new rule.
Alice Smith says of Spain being invaded and just the whole forced migration, the citizen replacement ideology that's been happening with nonprofits, non-governmental organizations, deep state globalists, socialists, communists, Islamists. Lots of groups. I mean, it's just it's a free-for-all. It's like Black Friday. First 10 people to get one of our video games in the back of the store, they get a free gaming system with it. Everybody's just running to crash the border. They're teen takeovers. They're mobs. Anyway, Alice Smith here says, they told us immigrants were doctors and engineers. They weren't. They told us immigrants were refugees and evacuees. They weren't. They told us immigrants were women and children. They're not. It's been lie after lie upon lie. Mrs. American Honey responds and says, and women will be assaulted by them while white liberal women pretend they should still be here. How do you correct that? Mark Wayne Mullen, people are very upset with him, thinking he's a little too on the amnesty kick. We'll see. Deportation numbers are up, but so are naturalizations. I mean, the bare minimum for me is that everybody needs to go outside the club, pay your fine, and get on the radar, show us your ID. We're going to run a criminal background check in order to make sure that you're ineligible. You cannot take free shit from this country. You're coming here to contribute, not to collect free shit. If all you had were 1,000 people running around your store looking for the free shit, it doesn't work that way. You get looted and plundered, or pluted, or lundered. Anyway, that's the state of our immigration. President Trump on the Save America Act.
Almost 20 GOP senators who have pledged to stay in D.C. to pass the Save America Act. So what's your message to the rest of the
Why only 20?
Senators who are still on their summer recess.
I think there's nothing more important than the Save America Act. I think they
I agree.
should stay. They do what they want, but I think they should stay. I think it's so important to get it passed. Yeah.
I agree.
Almost 20.
Spokane, Washington, before and after. Gotta mute it. The images overlaid. Near map showing the damage just rocked the whole communities. I mean, could you even water your roof? Wet down the property. You know, why don't we install sprinkler systems attached to the roof line that can pop up and extend around and cover the whole roof? I feel like I'm that guy dancing on the way to, what did it say? The proper way to dance to attract your mate. Anyway, big prayers for those folks in Washington right now. I hope it doesn't spread too much. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and make a switch over to our X account at American_media_. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're following us at American_media_. Please follow us on X. And at the top of the hour, well, at least the broadcast hour for me, another reminder, please consider tossing a tip at your boy today. I work off tips, just like I have as a bartender many times. Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube. You can become a monthly subscriber as little as $5. Patreon is such a great way, very low fees, directly into the business operating expenses. It helps every month. And the only way I can keep delivering, 20, 30 hours of content with 20, 30 hours of research, got to keep those bills paid. So consider going on Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube and signing up for at least a $5 monthly subscription to the account. Thank you to everybody who has. We have subscribers on every platform. We've accepted donations through Western Union, PayPal, fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com is the email address for that. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Venmo and Cash App at Brian Engelman. Thank you so much. As well as Rumble Rant tips and Super Chat tips, one-time tips. And special right now, if you want all 4 of these pieces of merchandise, the New American Media mug, 2 sets of coasters, and a pin. Normally $115 separately. Now, $100 for all 4 if you want a stack of merch. Set your cup on the cup holder and display the pin proudly. Heck yeah. Kenneth coming in off the top rope with a $5 super chat. Work to look at T. It. Well, then there's that. Yeah, you guys are all just pointing out it was 222. Make sure you make a wish. And thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate you. Always good to see. Good to see. Yes, Arnold says now Brian has experienced the Western Union format. The lines of communication are now open, and we have a method. Arn, appreciate you. That was great yesterday. How much for some smirch? I'll tell you when we enter those lousy smarch weather months. That long, cold, dark month of smarch. I'll tell you about some smirch. How about that? All right, everyone follow us on X. Cory Booker, not too happy when he realizes that Todd Blanche is going to be confirmed as Attorney General. Oh, Booker was banking on the rhinos holding Blanche hostage, but they caved.
America. That presidents' children can go out and sit on boards and make money. That is wrong and that is corrupting. But they have become so obsessed with the millions that the Bidens have made that they have ignored completely
Anyway, he's just going to go on and on. We're letting an AG become the highest law enforcement officer in the land with no holds whatsoever. Oh, please buckle up. Can we please? Can we start dropping the barrage of indictments, please? On only the bad guys. Of course, we told you the home mortgage rates went up to 6.66, truly demonic. Blech. Interest rate is so awful. Just make it 2% across the board, 3% cap. Watch the productivity. God, you look at your damn mortgage statement. Spend $9 on interest for every $2 of principal. What sort of upside down, fucked up universe? Can't we pay a mortgage off in 10 years, 11 years, 12 years? No. The bankers are the real heroes here, not the people living in the communities. See, the bankers need to make hundreds of thousands off of the life of your loan. Can someone please explain to me why the fuck a banker is supposed to make all this money off of the life of paying the interest on a mortgage? Why we can't just pay 1% for processing, 1% for someone to put a couple of bucks in their pocket for the hassle, and 1% for overhead. Maximum 2-3% loans. Call it a day. 6.5% loans. Well, they were worse. They were 15% under Jimmy Carter. This is insane. It should not be this expensive to live as a human. We are being robbed by mortgage companies. We're being robbed by the banks. For the love of God, we've got to fix this shit. I used to have one of those 3%ers, and now I'm stuck at a not 3%, and it fucking sucks. Sorry, guys. Like, I'm just... Between property taxes getting raised 100 and whatever a year, which is another $150 a month now, on top of the higher interest rates, another $200-300. Probably $1,000 each month I need to generate to throw it in the fucking trash. No, those are going to taxes. Those are going to the schools. They're coming out of my pocket. God, I hate mortgages. I hate interest. Oh, I can't stand it. Can't stand it. Yeah, taxation without representation. Well, as long as the Federal Reserve private banking cartel determines they get more of my money, well, whatever you say, boss. Whatever you say, boss. How high should I jump today, boss? Holy shit. Sorry, folks. I just... Every now and then I have a minor crash out over how stupid and effed up this all is. It's pointless. It's and if you sign up, if you move into a place and you're paying your mortgage, by what right do you come in and take an extra $150, $200 a month just because you theorize that my place is now worth more? That doesn't mean that I have more in that account. So where's this hypothetical extra payment supposed to be coming from? Well, it's just the rent you pay to live. I thought being a homeowner means you own the home. This whole mostly funding and financing school projects based on property taxes is bullshit. The whole community needs to be paying for this, not just penalizing people that are trying to build a life for themselves. Ugh. Patrick Webb says Iranian-backed hackers are likely behind the cyber attacks that shut down Minnesota water treatment plant, according to New York Post. International Cyber Digest, over 30 U.S. community water systems targeted in coordinated cyber attack July 26 and 27. The attack disabled operating controls, leading to disruption of water system services. State of Minnesota says the attack hit operational technology, and it has pulled in CISA, EPA, FBI, and its own fusion center. The release names no attacker, no access vector, and no affected utility. And it does not say how many of the 30-plus systems were actually compromised. Yep. Don't forget, John Rahm was leading the Memorial Golf by 6 shots after 3 rounds and told after the 18th green he tested positive, had to withdraw. I'm going to forget this guy's name. Where? John Rahm. Okay. Of course, there's our live feed. Hey, look at me. How long of a delay is it before I make a face? A couple seconds. A couple seconds at least. When do I make my first silly face? Right there. Right there. How many seconds behind are we? 15 seconds? 20 seconds. 30 seconds. Go on, make a funny face already. Make the funny face. It's like there's the funny face, like a 30-second delay, something like that. All right, let's keep it rolling. Here it is. Everybody check this out, please. Follow Ford, this YouTube channel. Let's see what we got here. It won't let me notify me. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, Fall of the Boogaloos. First episode premieres on the News to Share YouTube. Go to Ford Fisher's X account, at Ford, Fischer, and then go to the News, the number 2 Share on YouTube. Episodes will be released weekly, sharing clips on X. Series will change the history of the militia movement, the FBI, and January 6th. Should we play the trailer? Where's the trailer? You want to watch the trailer? These are too long. 4 minutes? These are all upcoming episodes. Here, let's just...
This is the perfect pair for your
no, we're not doing that yet. I'm just trying to play this. If you would let me play this, I want to give Ford a shout out here.
Been a federal informant for the FBI. Boogaloo movement is a turkey shoot for the federal government.
Where'd it go? Hold on. Why did it stop playing? Hold on. What the hell's happening? What the hell is happening here? Where did the content go? That was super weird. YouTube shut that down. Oh, that was really weird. All right, let's try this again. Okay, that was super weird. I'm going to play you this. Follow the Boogaloo. We'll watch a little bit of it, maybe a little bit more. But they use some of my content in this series.
I have never been a federal informant for the FBI. Boogaloo movement is a turkey shoot for the federal government.
Spoiler alert. I don't think he's being honest there.
They killed Breonna Taylor. They murdered her in her sleep. Duncan Socrates Limp, he was a buddy of mine. You know what they did? They entered his home and they murdered him while he slept.
That's the moment that I said, okay, people are going to die for this.
Hey, officers, that means Boogaloo. Hell yeah!
This is the showdown. Like,
get your hand off the gun.
it's not like they were just going to arrest me. My goons ain't going to allow that.
They knew that we were ready to step if they were going to step.
I think he had gotten to the point that he felt like he was untouchable. I think he was just trying to build up to an event like January 6th.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you if that establishing shot was my footage or not. I licensed the content for that day. Over to News to Share. Oop.
So January 6th, very unexpected day for everyone. Banging out.
And by the way, that clip right there, I was with Ford eating barbecue when he got called by South Park. They wanted to license footage for a South Park where it was like Mr. Garrison and the people were storming. I think they literally took some of these clips or something very close to this, them climbing over the park.
Banging out. I I wasn't hitting anybody.
Main thing that he posted.
That was my footage right there. I'll recognize that anywhere.
Hitting anybody.
Main thing that.
Yeah, I recognize this footage anywhere. That's me. Up on scaffolding. 2 stories up. I think it was like 2 stories up, maybe 3. 4? Maybe it was 4. It was a bit of a blur, if you could imagine. I zoomed right in on this gate, and there was a lot of activity at this gate. This is my shot right here in the intro.
I wasn't hitting anybody.
Main thing that he posted, however, was that there were 4 fire teams inside of the Capitol.
And I was like, hey, let's take a picture, let's pose or whatever.
Every 3-letter agency.
Anyway, I'm not going to risk it with the music and get some goofy copyright claim, but go check out the project. 4 hours from now, it's going to start. We'll just leave a comment. Buckle up. So yeah, go watch this project.
I drove down there to pick Mike up.
Anyway, it's I had the unique opportunity to let's go back to the X post here. Yeah, so I got to screen some of the early episodes and I don't know, just offer whatever creative notes that I had. I got to help on supervisory security role. There was a bit of a dangerous encounter that was set up here. And I helped consult and come up with some ways that there could be some safety precautions that were put in place. Yeah, very happy to be a part of this in my ancillary way. Ford's been working on this project for years, putting it together. So go check it out. Fall of the Boogaloo in 4 hours, 7 p.m. Eastern. Let me share it from there as well. Check out yesterday's show. A good guy with a tool steps in and out. Good golly. Good guy with a tool stops in and out bad guy. Train now, RFK defends scientific method and more. Check out yesterday's episode of the TNAM Daily Show. So, yeah, the guy that was featured in that project he's at the board of supervisors talking about someone who violated privacy in the name of the state one day before the show begins releasing online, saying, I worked for the feds for a little while and I believe that's a violation of privacy, and that's coming from a federal informant, Mike Dunn. So he's going to be one of the main characters in the story. So check it out. It's going to be interesting for sure. All right. Aaron Rodgers, boy. On with Pat McAfee.
A couple times today, because you've been very open about coming back for this year, last rodeo, and you talked about your wife saying, hey, have another year. Mike McCarthy being here, obviously a big deal. Can you tell us about the mindset of coming into your last season? Like, that's a real thing, it feels like, because is everything better? Is everything funner? Is everything more awesome? Like, how do you kind of view this year versus maybe the years of the past?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay.
Okay. Like
gotta love that guy.
Okay. Like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci. Absolute coward.
Yeah.
Aaron's back, baby. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 111
You
times.
got a pardon and you're in front and you pleaded over 100 times at the White House? What are you scared of, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought you were the science.
Yeah.
I thought you were I am science, and you get up
I represent the science.
there and you can't answer a question?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And how much time did the network spend at that? How much time did they spend on my responses every week, on my vaccination status, on Taylor and Travis's wedding?
Yeah!
Did they do even a minute? Did they do?
Yeah, exactly. ESPN, ABC, Disney. Did they cover that and the implications to sports and the side effects for the kids? Did any time get shown to the opposite side to prove that all of that was bullshit? No. Your network, ESPN, ABC, Disney, did not breathlessly cover because they attacked Aaron Rodgers and Novak Djokovic and Kyrie Irving for every chance they got. It was a daily, let's jab them. And this was more like, I'm going to take jabs punching instead of taking the jab in the vein. Aaron Rodgers has every right to be pissed off and call out ESPN for not covering any of that stuff. And I have every right to be excited about this. Super chat, Kenneth. I worked to get. Wait. I worked for, not as a Fed. He worked to get fed. Kenneth feeds the tip jar with a $10 bill. $10 make you holla. Appreciate you, Kenneth. Yeah, I didn't work as a Fed. I worked to get fed. What's Arthur doing? Bullion. Gold is 41. Silver is 60. 60? Ugh. It's going to go back up. And it's up from 20. And it'll be back above 100. Just give it a sec. I got a hunch.
Even a minute on Tony Fauci.
No, I don't think I've heard anything.
I bet they didn't.
But on that note.
Then there was another scandal this offseason, too, involving a voter for MVP, for Coach of the Year. How much?
Oh, yeah. The Rossini, who was allegedly sleeping with Mike Vrabel, the coaches, and she's voting for Coach of the Year.
Time did your network spin? Where's your camera? Did your network spin on that?
Our network?
I wish
how much time did you spend?
This is awesome.
Go back to Fauci?
Yeah.
Go back to the coward Tony Fauci in science?
Hold on now.
Who's spending the entire time writing in his diary about how fun it is to be famous? You got to be kidding me.
Okay, so on that note.
What are you going to say about me now?
Debate him.
What are you going to say about me now?
No, I got no debate here. You had a 500.
No, seriously, what are they going to say about me now? Now that you can't talk about.
Yeah. He was blasted on a daily basis through all their networks. They gave the orders. You can't let Aaron Rodgers be out there. It's causing vaccine hesitancy or something. And they just attacked him. It's like he's got every right to run his body how he wants to. And who was right and who was lying?
The COVID stuff, because obviously it was made, in a lab in China. That's like not even questionable anymore. Tony Fauci is an absolute criminal. I'm on good terms with my family. I'm on good terms with my family. What are you going to say now? What are you going to say now?
I want to let you know. It's been a fun ride for you, I would assume, over the last couple.
It's been a great life and a great career. And it's nice to be sitting on this side now, especially after that coward played the fifth over 100 times.
Okay.
I thought you had a part in there, Tony. Why couldn't you answer one question the entire time?
Okay, we got 4 minutes until the heart out.
Yeah, I got
They got to be in this ear saying, all right, you got to move him off this topic. You got to keep it moving. You got to get him off this topic.
One more minute, but we keep this shit going. We keep it going.
Anything else?
I got at least 4 minutes.
Okay, okay.
And he knows the game. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. I went out and got an Aaron Rodgers rookie because I like him. So yeah, Tuesday's Michigan Democrat Senate primary is pitting progressive Abdul El Sayed against Representative Haley Stevens, Democrat of Michigan. One of the most important races in the country is a referendum on the socialist takeover of the Democratic Party. This Haley Stevens is a dork, but I'd take a dork over a socialist any day of the week. Senator Tom Tillis says, from the outset, Senator John Cornyn and I were clear. We needed a written document addressing our concerns on the IRS audit agreement and the anti-weaponization fund that included constraining the scope of audit protection by limiting it to the parties of the settlement agreement and legally ending the anti-weaponization fund. What? We're pleased that the Department of Justice issued a formal order terminating the anti-weaponization fund. Additionally, the department has acknowledged in a binding written order that the audit settlement is limited to the plaintiffs and the scope does not extend beyond the defendants in the lawsuit, the IRS and the Treasury, addressing concerns that multiple of the Republican colleagues share. So now he's expressing gratitude to Todd Blanche and staff for working on this. And they work forward to voting to advance his nomination out of the Senate Judiciary Committee. But why on earth would you be against punishing the people who stole our voices during COVID-19 and that 2020 election debacle and treason? Who pulls your puppet strings? Tom says Blanche has cover Dahmer gratitude. I don't know. I don't like Tillis and Cornyn at all. But they swung over and they're going to be voting for Todd Blanche now. Check out this 3-minute clip. Leaked AIPAC video exposes the back channel into Trump's national security team is the claim. What show is this? Redacted. It says Max Blumenthal talks about how anyone from Congress picked for a national security role has gone through an AIPAC grooming process. 3-minute clip. This report here. High-level U.S. government official leaks crucial military plans from President Trump on Iran and faces calls to be imprisoned. They tipped off Iran. Senior Israeli intelligence officials said they weren't even aware of the details of the plan, and that's how close the administration was holding these details to the chest because of how sensitive it is in the region. Or is that just Israel putting something out there because they're out of the loop and they think that they run the world? You tell me in comments. But Eric Daughtry continues on his post and says all leakers must be fired and prosecuted. Representative Jim Jordan says President Trump is helping veterans find jobs and removing illegal aliens from the roads. Amazing. Trump taps veterans to fix the illegal alien trucking problem that's plaguing U.S. roadways. Yeah, put veterans behind the wheels. Americans working American jobs. Secretary Marco Rubio confirms Trump was right about Venezuela, which is now shifting away from a communist dictatorship. A lot of work has to happen to lay the groundwork for an election, freedom of the press, multi-party participation, national reconciliation, So it has to happen. It's a work in progress. But again, it's about 6 months since Maduro was removed. A lot's been going on at the same time with economics and so forth. We're moving on 2 tracks. We want to improve the daily lives, help improve the daily lives of Venezuelans economically so that they're better off. They're more prosperous. I think that helps us both facilitate the political transition. You also have to have a process for every element of political society in Venezuela has a role to play, not just in constructing elections, but government is the future of the country. Take some time to get there, have a little patience, but maybe that country will be turning into a better place for everybody. I don't know. I'm not going to bash the president until I get to see how this shakes out. Jaw-dropping level of home health fraud exposed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania by the Trump admin. Charges will be released against 19 defendants involved in outlandish schemes. Home health aid billing for online or for providing services while in jail. One claimed to be a person in need while working a construction job. Major expansion in fraud enforcement is arriving this week. I voted for this. White House says one of the biggest grocery stores in America is slashing prices, cutting costs on everyday essentials for several weeks. Meijer joins other grocery giants like Walmart and Sam's Club in lowering prices, part of a growing trend under President Trump. Slashing prices on 1,000 items. Julie Kelly says illegal aliens being grabbed off the streets in Inglewood and tossed into Border Patrol vehicles.
Look, are you talking or not? Hey.
Trump is now sending in 2,000 National Guardsmen. I don't know if that's confirmed to amplify the deportation operations. We'll stay tuned. I don't know. I don't know who. This isn't like actually Julie Kelly.
Put the fucking bags down, niggas. You ain't gonna do shit. Hey, déjalo. Hey, just let it be. Déjalo, papa. Déjalo, papa. Papa, déjalo. Está bien, déjalo, déjalo. Déjalo.
All right. I don't know. I just don't trust any claims like that. We'll see if the National Guard goes over there. I haven't seen that reported anywhere. So Trump sets a new deadline, gives Iran till the end of the day today to finalize Strait of Hormuz agreement with Oman or face devastating airstrikes. Every last chance before decapitation, you'll find out today. The agreement with Oman, however, would not be something that Trump wants. A senior Iranian official tells Reuters it would grant Iran total sovereign authority over all inbound maritime traffic, and Oman would clear outbound vessels only after notifying Iranian officials, ensuring Iran retains visibility and the option to intervene. Doesn't sound like much of a deal if you're winning. I've said this all the time. It's a tiny number of people who commit all the bad crime in your neighborhood.
2% of the people create 91% of the crime. You can really handle that. And we moved almost 5,000 people out. They were criminals, career criminals. We moved that, or in some cases they're in jail. In some cases they were so bad, they came in through Biden. They're so bad, we don't want to move them out. We want to put them in jails because we're afraid they're going to come back in somehow.
Just a tiny number of people are causing all the problems. So just address it. Put them in jail. Get them out. President Trump endorses Byron Donalds in Florida. Justice Department announces monitoring of polling sites in 4 Michigan cities, according to Trump War Room. It's a justice.gov release. Trump DOJ unveils the largest denaturalization surge in department history, and it just filed to revoke the citizenship of fraudsters and criminals from the following countries: Pakistan, India, Haiti, Moldova, Mexico, Colombia, Nigeria, Liberia, Ghana, Jamaica. Filing to revoke the citizenship of fraudsters and criminals from those countries. This is good. So Michael Arouet says European net zero achieved 2 things. 1, deindustrialization in Europe due to very high energy costs and many well-paid jobs were lost. 2, the same products now come from Asia, but with higher emissions to build them and ship them. Cars, for example, cause 70% more emissions. Isn't that genius? Peter St. Ang, PhD, says, climate change boils down to exporting your entire industrial base to Asia, where the emissions don't count. I am so happy that we're done with that scam. We can have respect for the environment and clean our communities and try to be resourceful, but all of that extra stuff was just money laundering, theft, waste, graft, abuse, foolish. And it's you lose your sovereignty doing that. Bad. But I loved that post. It was so good. Zero Hedge reports murders in the U.S. is set to hit a 126-year low following illegal immigrant deportations. Peter St. Ange, one weird trick can get you to hit a 126-year all-time low in murders. Nick Shirley goes to Spain. 60,000 migrants from Morocco's border storms the small town, hiding in the mountains in the city to reach mainland Europe. Moroccan migrants said Moroccan authorities let them through their border, and Spain literally opened their gates on arrival. Many migrants thank Pedro Sanchez for opening the border. Ceuta is now effectively shut down due to looting concerns. Military losing power as migrants outnumber them and continue to escape into the mountains. Now, thousands of military-aged men are set to spread throughout Europe due to one country's failure. And this is what was happening under Joe Biden. Some say the 3rd, some say the 4th term of Barack Hussein Obama. Overthrowing sovereign nations with non-citizens. Hey, remember this gem? I have so much to cover, and I'm pretty much at it right here.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali.
And we need more people like you to come in and sit in our schoolrooms and talk about, bananas and rice. Nick Sorter says articles of impeachment have been filed against federal judge Allison Burroughs for refusing to obey the Supreme Court and blocking President Trump from ending TPS, temporary protective status for Somalis. If judges aren't held accountable, we will lose our country. Representative Andy Ogles officially made this filing today, vowing to hold this activist judge accountable. Quote, America is not Africa's dumping ground. We will end temporary protected status, remove those who have no lawful right to remain, and put the sovereignty of the American people first. Or you could replace Americans.
To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like It's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice.
We need college entrance exams. We need to make sure we're getting bright people in to the college called the United States. People that are self-sufficient, that can take care of themselves and contribute to the greater good, not be a leech and not drag us down. Basic college admissions exams. Are you a bright person that will contribute and make this a better place? Or are the light bulbs out at the house? Because now it's a problem. It's like bananas and rice. Clandestine says it's big what was happening with Aaron Rodgers. Despite the Fauci hearing not getting much attention from the left-wing mainstream media, it's still been disseminated to the masses through social media, and now it's permeated into sports, which is one of the pillars of American culture. The truth has broken containment, and now every Disney-captured ESPN person is being used to broadcast what they used to consider dangerous disinformation. The entire world saw that cowardly little rat Fauci refuse to answer questions to the American people, and now the COVID scam is becoming more and more ingrained in the collective consciousness. The Overton window has shifted dramatically, and now it's not only acceptable to dislike Fauci, it's becoming encouraged. People are making plead the fifth jokes everywhere, even in non-political spaces. Imagine showing this clip to someone in 2020. It would scramble their minds. This just goes to show how far we've come in the ongoing informational, psychological, and spiritual war. Truth eventually wins. That was written by Clandestine. And it's important. Culturally. But let's see. Will there be any actual indictments where penalties will be paid? I mean, we're talking perhaps the biggest mass murderer in the history of humanity. Fauci was told stop doing gain of function. They funded through EcoHealth Alliance in Wuhan. And then it was released potentially intentionally, maybe to overturn and knock over a succeeding president that was eating China's lunch a little too much. So China released something they could, maybe they could have had a biological plan. Maybe Iran has a plan and figures we don't have the missiles, but we can hack your water systems. Maybe China's like, well, we can buy Biden. That's easy. We can buy Hillary, access to your private servers in the closet. Perfect. Obama, fine. Bought and paid for. Iran, China, we'll eat your lunch, do all this green energy stuff and just shut down all of your production. We'll make everything over here with slave labor. Then we'll ship it across the globe. Who gives a damn about emissions? And now you're reliant on us for everything, including antibiotics, including other pharmaceutical needs, including the ability to make transformers and engines and all the infrastructure that we used to have here. China was eating our lunch until from Wuhan, they released COVID-19 and it locked the world down, pushing the riots and then pushing for mass mail-in ballots, knowing that there are hundreds of thousands, millions of fake people in the ballot rolls, the sloppy voter rolls. But now that you can generate a ballot for people automatically or upon request or both, as long as those get delivered, it says that somebody in the system that's a citizen cast a vote. And I know it looked like President Trump was winning on a landslide by hundreds of thousands of votes on his way to securing his reelection, but nah, not today, not today. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, it would be nice to see some penalties for that. Yeah, I heard that because of Trump's policies, Meijer has cut costs on bananas and rice at their store. And because EBT is now being scammed to buy drugs and cigarettes and alcohol and sugary soft drinks, you're being limited to bananas and rice. Shit, that's funny. I know I played that clip. I go, oh yeah, she's got that big bandage on her head. What's going on there? maybe there's like a push-pull joke you could make about not understanding which one is pushing and pulling, and you smacked yourself in the head. Stepping on a rake. Kind of says, was that bandage from a recent lobotomy? Yeah, man. We need to have qualifications to get into America. Criminal background checks, financial stability. You got to prove you're bright. You can't just be a nitwit, a dummy, someone with a criminal history. That I want the best and brightest. All right. I just want college to be an uplifting experience where a lot of really talented people make America great. It's a huge privilege to be here. You don't just storm the gate and come in here and rape, loot, plunder, steal. You know, just run it, bust through the gates like a pirate. It's a mess. Everybody out. Ugly lights on at the nightclub. Everyone out. There's been a breach of security. Everyone out the door. We're rechecking everyone back in at the front. Everyone with the green wristband, go to the second door. Everyone who does not have a green wristband, stand in line. Everyone's getting a new pat down. We're going. That's what you got to do with the voter rolls. And Scott Pressler just got tons of people taken off the voter rolls in Pennsylvania, thankfully. So anyway, stay tuned for more info on that. Well, that is the end of my shift. I am clocking out for the day. I'm going to slide you your credit card tab. It says $0 in free cents. There's a tip line at the bottom if you would want to consider signing up today to become a monthly sponsor to the New American Media. Go to Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube and click subscribe. Just link up one of your side credit cards for like $5 a month or more. Please do more. And you can become a subscriber. Thank you to everyone on every platform who's helped us get some growth. And we want every one of these seats behind me to be filled tomorrow. So invite your friends. If anyone wants to throw a last second tip into the tip jar before I wrap things up and roll out the back door, well, I'm talking about the building, the establishment. I know there's jokes you can make there, but Rumble rant tips and super chat tips. Just click the button and toss something in. Thank you to Kenneth for tossing some Rumble rant tips, super chat tips today on YouTube. Final reminder, Venmo and Cash App is my name, Brian Engelman, and PayPal is fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. All scrolling at the bottom of the screen, mind you. So yeah, I'll get those peanuts in the ground. That'll be one of the things I got to do today. Among the hundreds of things I must do, I'll add that to the list. But for now, thank you everybody in chat. We'll be back again live tomorrow at noon. Signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we will talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.